When we started, I think a lot of things that were online now, which are online now, wasn't there. For instance, you're gonna go online and you see farmers saying they are even offering training,
No, no, no,
mentorship,
no,
and all
no.
those things.
Mhm.
So I think when I was starting, social media wasn't actually at the point that it is now.
Okay.
So you could be there, somebody will come 3 months or 6 months, may throw rabbit back home. There's no production plan. You can, if you visit maybe other farms, just ask them, do they have a production plan? A
Mhm.
production plan is not a document per se. At least they can
Yeah.
share with you their idea. I
Mhm.
cross this when it does this is what I do.
Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to another amazing, wonderful edition of Hamburg Farms TV. My name is Obakaske, and my guest for today is Mr. Blege Eliklim. Yes, he's the owner of Plume Farms, located on the Domain Pillar 2 Road. We are here to have an interaction with him. I had a chat with him before this interview, and not only is he a farmer, he's also a teacher as well. He offers training for those who want to venture into farming in general. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll start this conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome back. As you all can see, my guest is here with me. Hello, Ellie.
Yeah, hello.
How are you?
Fine.
I hope everything is okay.
Everything is
How is
fine.
business going?
By God's grace, everything is fine.
We thank God. We thank God. How long have you been into rabbit farming?
I think since 2014.
2014.
Yes.
So that's like 9 years.
Yeah, about that.
9 years. Okay. How did you venture into this business? Was it through an inspiration you had from someone, or you just got up one day and then decided to be a farmer?
Actually, what happened was that I'd done it before back in I think JHS. I
Mm.
had something very small. That one was more or less like a hobby. So I started, I think, with about two rabbits,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it grew to about 10. But after GSS, when I was going to SS, I
SHS.
just gave up on it.
Oh,
So
okay.
there, I think during my national service, my auntie's husband, they
Mm-hmm.
gave them some. They had some rabbits at home. So what happened was that when I came upon seeing the rabbit, I was like, ah, Charlie, this is the something I used to do. Let
Mm-hmm.
me
Mm-hmm.
try because I was finishing service and after national service, you are going to look for job. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
So what I did was that I said, oh, I wanted a rabbit. And he said I should go and construct a cage. And after constructing the cage, I should come for the rabbit. So that time I go do some low cage. So after doing the low cage, I came for the rabbits, and I think it took off from there. But though I think the first 2 years we were just uh, doing things that we did
Mm-hmm.
not know what
Mm-hmm.
we did
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
actually know what we were doing. But I think more or less that's how it all started.
Okay, so we are talking about 2014, right?
Years 2014.
Okay, so as young as you were, it's been 9 years already. How was it like the journey? Was it a rough one? Did you have a big challenge, or you would say because you started as a young at a young age and you had a family member who was also into it, it was quite easy for you?
Okay. Uh, I think uh, starting something is very difficult, but the willingness not to give up is what actually keeps the farm going.
Okay.
When we started, I think a lot of things that were online now, which are online now, wasn't there. For instance, you're gonna go online and you see farmers saying they are even offering training,
No, no, no,
mentorship,
no,
and all
no.
those things,
Mm-hmm.
and everything you were learning online is it doesn't actually apply to our African setting. For instance, let's say maybe you say your animals are dying of heat stroke or something like that. And maybe you go online and they are telling you that put ice block closer to the rabbit. And so if you're having 300 rabbits, does that mean you are going to put ice block for each?
Yeah.
So I kept on asking myself, this thing, what is what I'm saying, is applying to just a small home farm. So it used to keep me awake. Or let me say, at night, I didn't sleep. I believe that every day I had to learn something new.
Something new.
So every day, one thing at a time. One day, it got to a time now, I could learn 2 or 3 things
Wow.
at a time. So I actually invested into myself because why should maybe somebody tell me something that works on his farm and I'll try it, it doesn't work. That
It
means I
doesn't
have to
work
also
for you.
develop something that
Yes,
works
yes.
in the African setting. So what I did was that I realized that it wasn't, for that example, it wasn't about the ice block, it was about a proper cage. Because if, for instance, you have a house and it's properly built, I believe that if the weather is even hot outside and you enter the house, you realize it's
Yeah.
somehow okay.
Yeah.
So I think when I was starting, there weren't enough information that applied to the Ghanaian setting, and we didn't have enough farmers who actually knew what they were doing. They were just few, and
Yes.
and we weren't even looking at social media as something that could actually grow our business to another level. So I think when I was starting, social media wasn't actually at the point that it is now.
Okay.
So you could be there, somebody will come 3 months or 6 months, may throw rabbit back home. So I asked myself, was I doing something wrong? It got to a point you even wanted to give up.
Give up.
But then passion,
Yeah.
I asked myself, so if you give up, what are you going to tell
What
people? I
next?
gave up because of.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I was still looking for a job alongside doing the rabbit. So I realized that let me just take this rabbit full time. Let me take it. So I invested all my time to an extent that I could not make a statement when I'm among my friends. I could not make a statement without talking about rabbits. And I realized that
Wow. It became a part of
it
you.
became more than a part of me.
Wow.
So until you reach that level, then you are more or less like a part-time farmer.
Wow.
So I think we have farmers with capital F, and we have farmers with small f's. So I believe that the journey has been a learning curve. Your rabbits are the things you are trying, whatever you are trying on. So if you try it on a rabbit and it doesn't work, even though you lose, you learn something.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it has been very rocky. Now it's far easier. It's more of an experience because all the problems you are experiencing, you've experienced it before.
Exactly.
So I think farmers today are privileged as compared to
Before
our time
then.
because we had to bath a lot in gutters before getting to clear water. So I think to me we have done the job for them. So
Talking about your journey and then you having to dedicate your time and then invest your time into learning all these things.
okay.
Was it self-taught or you had help from someone to actually tutor you, to sit you down, teach you, do this, you have to combine this to find solutions to your problems?
Okay. If you are starting a rabbit farm, every rabbit farmer has more or less a mentor or a go-to, someone that, oh, I've experienced this problem. Have you experienced it before? So there were I had a lot of, let me say, friends who were in rabbit production way before me and who had experienced some problems that I hadn't experienced before. So what happened was that if I experienced a problem, I asked Charlie, I experienced this problem. Oh, my animals, they have this eye infection. They have this. What do I do? And he's like, oh, do this, do that, do that. So when he teaches you what to do, it now adds up to your knowledge.
Yes.
So now when you experience that problem, but what I did was that when they give me the information, it doesn't end there. It rather opens a gate to rather read and learn more and try on my farm. So for instance, let's say maybe my animal had maybe mite. We have mite infestation. It's more or less like an ectoparasite infestation. So when that thing happens like this, and he tells you maybe use this medicine, and you use it, and I'm asking myself, so the next time if it's not mite and it's ectoparasite, so now I started buying the medicines. You learn. Sometimes you try. You are injecting your animal. It doesn't. you don't do the right thing, you correct. I'm talking from 2015 going, or you try, maybe your animal is in pain. You see that Charlie and I'm all wrong place, or that kind of thing. So over a period of time, I realized that if you buy the medicine, 'cause the medicine was even educating you, because on the medicine they've written that for all ectoparasites. So if maybe I experienced another ectoparasite and I did that, I realized that it was curing it. So the more the disease I cured, the more it taught me. So I will not lie. I had a lot of, or let me say, I have some few farms that actually helped clean farms become the clean farms it is today.
now.
Because no, everybody needs someone.
Yes.
And surprisingly, some of these farms too will also call Charlie. I've experienced this, so now it became more or less like an association.
Okay.
He can call you, Charlie. I'm buying this ingredient somewhere. I know they get. Do you know any place? So it became more like a partnership, not money involved, but more of information involved. So we became more or less like trusted partners.
Okay.
So basically, that's what.
Would you say rabbit business is a good deal, or you would say it's okay?
Rabbit business, let me put it this way. Rabbit business has not been even tapped to, even the surface cry has not been tapped at all. Because why do I say that? When the Europeans came and they were, well, let me say the missionaries, they were sharing the word of God, spreading Christianity and all that. That's back 1800s. When they came, they were rearing rabbits then. So they said, they asked themselves, let's bring some so that we could do what? We could spread it into the bush. So that whilst we are sharing the word, if it's 4 years we are going to be here, the rabbit will do what? Produce more.
Yes.
So let's say maybe they brought 20 and they put the 20 in the bush. In a year, they were, how do you even say that? They were producing more. You know, rabbit in the bush even produce more than we domesticated. Why? Because it is, their crossing is not restricted. They are just producing. The objective is producing for me.
Yes.
So when they did that, they realized that the animals were really producing. So there was always something to hunt. So if they saw that rabbits have a gestation period of, let's say, 1 month. Right now, if you look at food security, we are reaching a certain level whereby even the protein content we produce in Africa will not be even enough. Look at the meat we import. Look at chicken. Look at beef. Look at all those things we import. But if you look at rabbit production, it is something that can, if not solve completely, reduce that. But I think we are not looking at it on a bigger level, because let's look at chicken. If you look at chicken, you look at rabbit, look at all these popular meats. Rabbit, even we take all of them 1 kilo, 1 kilo, 1 kilo of each. Rabbit even has more protein than all of them. Rabbit is at the top, followed by chicken. Before we can, pork, we are saying pork. The meat, the protein content is not by the size of the meat. It's by the nutrient contained in the meat. It's not like the bigger the meat, the bigger the protein. No.
Okay.
So I think rabbit is how do you say it, an awesome business.
Wow.
You can't make noise if you don't have anything to sell. It's just like you have only 20 animals. Then you say, I'm selling rabbits. You are just joking. In order for you to sell rabbits, you need to create what we call a cycle. That's when we talk about production.
Okay.
You need to create what we call a cycle. Bigger farms create about 4 cycles. 4 cycles means that if this batch goes, this batch is coming, this batch is going, this batch is coming. Before the batches will finish, another 4 batches have been created. Plenty farms don't do that. They say there's no market. The market is, how do you say it? It's consuming. We cannot meet the demand.
Okay.
Pork people have their people there. Rabbit people have their people. Chicken people have their people. But people, we are looking at the francophone people coming to Ghana saying, I want you to give me 1 ton or 40-footer container. The demand is more than the supply, meaning there's what? Promise for the future. So it's wild.
Okay, from what you are saying, meaning many farmers are into this business without having in-depth knowledge about what they are doing.
Yes, they are crossing rabbit no wow. There's no production plan. You can if you visit maybe other farms, just ask them, do they have a production plan? A production plan is not a document per se. At least they can share with you their idea. I cross this when it does this is what I do. These are the measures I put in place. If I see that this rabbit is this is what I do. If I see that rabbit is this what I do. These are the indicators I used to pick maybe these stocks to replace their parents. Those are all production plan guidelines. So if you don't have this and you are practicing something in your mind, fine, no problem. If it's working, no problem. But you should have a production plan, a feeding plan, because you can buy the best feed in the world, but if you don't have what's the name, a feeding routine, a proper feeding routine, you realize your animals are chopping, but they are not getting the weight, or you are slaughtering animals and there's a lot of fat. A feeding routine tells you that okay, I feed this amount of food at this time every time. When the rabbit is at this age, I feed this amount. I don't feed more than this. When it eats, it should sleep. But some people will feed their rabbits and come and say, "Oh, it has finished eating. Let me top up." Are you topping up for meat or you are topping up for breeding stock? All those things matters. So rabbit production, if you treat the animals well, you are doing the right thing. I always say they will treat you better.
Okay.
But if you are not treating them well, forget it. You are just a joker.
I had a conversation with him earlier, and he was telling me about how he offers training to those who are ready to learn.
Yeah.
How did you come up with such an idea? I mean, someone would say, "Okay, I have this knowledge. I want to keep it to myself and then use it on my farm." Why did you decide to, give out such knowledge?
Okay. First of all, when you when you are entering a business or you are starting a business, mostly businesses that thrive are based on solving a problem. Uh, if you identify the problem and you look for a solution, you've got yourself a business. Fine. Now the problem I encountered was when I was starting, there weren't enough places whereby we could be educated or given tricks and strategies to prevent ourselves from making a lot of mistakes before getting to the top. Okay. So what I did was I was like, people are starting rabbits. They think it's all about I've gotten a cage.
Yeah.
Seeing that, I realized that there was a gap when it comes to proper training being offered, because there are a lot of people who were offering training. If I say they are offering training, most of them will you go to the training, they will just give you pamphlets to read, they talk less, but they take your money, take less money. Maybe they say, oh, it is only 10 cedis. Join a WhatsApp group. I was like, join WhatsApp group. The person wants to know the thing.
Yes.
So that if he goes, he can refer to it and say, oh, Ellie, you said this, that. What is this? At least he wants
a practical aspect and then
his money worth. So I said, nah, let me start this thing and see. So we started our training. When we started, I think almost 4 years ago. When we started the training, I said introduction to rabbit production. That was actually the first training we started.
Okay.
So introduction to rabbit production was covering everything about rabbits. Everything. If I say everything, we are talking about medication, all those things. For a very small fee, people were like, so are you getting any profit out of it? But I was like, nah, at least if you train more people, you can point and say, I've trained this guy, he's doing well, I've trained that guy, he's doing well.
Yes.
So from there we started, I said, nah, introduction to rabbit production. So if the person finishes producing the rabbits, he's getting how to medicate them. What is next? So I said, okay, let's go to feed, because he needs to feed his animals. Exactly. So we started feed formulation and preservation. Then now from feed, he's producing his animal. He needs to add value to the animal. If we add value, that means you are talking about you slaughter the animal, you dress it. Instead of somebody come to buy the animal, you don't know how to dress. So I added value addition techniques and strategies. That's another distance. So I was looking at the problems. After that, I said, okay, maybe what about the guy who wants to send it to another level? He wants to build his own cages. Then I said, okay, then now let's go to cage constructions and litter boxes. First, I was doing only cage construction, but added litter boxes. Because why would you construct a cage and not a litter box? I'll charge the litter box separate. So it's a cage construction and litter boxes. Then I realized that so I was building a training. I was building a training that will make the farmer a complete farmer. He will be self-dependent.
Yeah, you're not limited to anything.
Yes, he'll be self-dependent.
Okay.
He hardly, I'll not say he completely, he hardly depends on anybody.
Yes.
If
yes.
he's asking a question, tell him I try one, two questions. So then I went on and I said, but they are producing the animals, they are adding value, but they are not able to sell. So then I said, no, let's add what's the product marketing and sales. So under the product marketing and sales, I realized that social media will play a very big role.
Yes, a
But
major one.
yes, but you can use social media, but social media cannot get you to some places.
Okay.
So I now developed an associate farm system whereby all farms that are trained and are promising, we pick them under our associate farm systems. So that means they regularly supply. So you just produce and say, Ellie, I've produced this thing. I just ask you, because you are using you have been trained, you are producing a solid animal, less fat, or let me say, almost no fat.
Okay.
You are dressing at a standard which we've given you. So that means the person becomes a complete farmer. And some people were saying, oh, the containers, you want to learn how to do the feeders and drinkers. I said, okay, let me just add the feeders and drinkers. But truth be told, few people come for the feeders and drinkers training. Actually, you can buy the feeders and drinkers. They are not something that I normally advise people to train on.
Okay.
You can buy it, unless maybe you want to train and go and train somebody. So these were actually all the models. And I made sure that my training never reached a certain price. So it was all about making a little profit, not plenty profit. So some people were thinking you were making more money from it.
Yeah.
So as and when prices of things increased, we also just shifted a bit.
Okay.
Having in mind that you can't shift because of just price. You have to shift and add more material or add more information. So the people who train maybe in 2020 will not if they even sit in 2022 training, it will be more or less an update or an upgrade,
Yes,
because we
yes,
add more.
yes.
So we make sure that at least if you come for the training, we within 3-4 months definitely will be assisting you until you can stand. And I can tell you there are so many farms, those who actually pay that. Some people came for training. As for them, they came to listen and ask questions, not listen and understand. They want to just, they are not listening. They are listening, but they are not listening. Those who actually paid attention, plenty farms are doing it. There are some people who wanted one-on-one trainings. We did. There are some people who want, we call them residential trainings. There are some people who wanted group trainings. We did all those. Some wanted online, but we said no. We had some people from was in Cote d'Ivoire who wanted to come for accommodation. We said no, we are not doing accommodation. They wanted online, and I told them that the online there we have to develop the material for it to be like you are there. So we are actually working on that, because the material, it takes a lot to develop that online material. So internationally, if we want to train people all over the world, we are actually working on the the online material, whereby at least you get the online material ahead of time. So when we talk, it makes sense. So it's actually a bigger project we are actually working on. So more or less that.
So from this conversation, I can see you do everything on your own, from your cages to your litter boxes to your feeds, and then you teach as well.
Everything. That's why we say anything rabbit.
Anything rabbit. Okay, I see. Meaning you don't need a veterinary officer to come and then do anything on your farm or so.
Okay. Let me let me let me not sound like I know it all.
Okay.
Okay. Veterinary officers are very important. They are very important in everything they do. Extension officers, veterinary officers, they are all, everybody is important. Everybody needs someone. I can't say I don't need a veterinary officer or something like that. The problems I face on my farm, for now, I'm able to solve them all on my own. If not, I consult certain a circle of farmers, whereby they might have encountered that before, because I
Yes.
can't know it all. Because if I there are some veterinary officers I even consult, or let me say retired veterinary officers. I call and say, sir, I've been trying this, it wasn't working. And he says, oh, try this, try that, try that. But as for taking my animal or bringing a vet into my farm, I don't think I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever done that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever done that. But those who are starting and don't have mentors, don't have farmers like us who have been in the business for long, and definitely they will start with vet officers. But if you are starting with vet officers, the problem alone is the price. Because at that time, if you have the money to afford, fine. But at that time, if you don't have the money to afford, I think if you are starting or you want to start rabbit production, the best thing for you to do, instead of going to call a vet immediately, or don't even bring the rabbits first. Aside getting the cage, or before getting the cage, kindly enroll in any proper training in
Seek
rabbit.
knowledge.
Seek knowledge.
Okay.
Online alone is not enough, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
The information you get online, it's more or less a 50% chance that it will work on your farm. I mean, some might work, some will not work. But are you ready to do the trial lock? If you are not ready to do the trial lock and you want to start rabbit production the right way, you can just pick a form
Okay.
at Clean Farm. You can just pick up a form. We have different models.
When does your training start? How do you do it?
Okay. Uh, Currently, we are having a training in September. That's, I think, September 2nd and 3rd. We are actually planning to do two trainings because Christmas is coming. People will dress their rabbits and all that. So we are seeing either the same September, the third week of September, we might train on value addition
Okay.
techniques and strategies. But we are always open for training because some people are coming for training, but they are not coming for the feed or what we are training.
Okay.
So they should pick up a form. Actually, a class, or let me say a session, if we get up to 4 or 5 people, 4 to 5 people, we have a class.
Okay.
Apart from those who want a private session, maybe at their residence. So based on your residence, we charge you the price of the training, and we charge you the price of that's our lunch and the transportation to your
Okay.
place. So for instance, if somebody is at Hacho, his extra price he will be charging will just be the what's the name? The transportation, which from here to Hacho is shorter.
Yeah.
The transportation and our lunch. That's all. So for the residential training, it's more or less that's all. Because if you are at Kolebu, I calculate the price of maybe we are doing the training for 2 days or 3 days. Normally it's 2 days. So the 2 days that I'll go there, my in and out, in and out. So the in and out 2 times and my lunch for the 2 days. So that 2 days, no, maybe let's say the price is 250. I'm giving an example. If it's 250, we try to just subsidize and say, oh, let's maybe 200.
Okay.
So we look at all that.
Okay. You keep saying we. Do you have a team or?
No, if I say we, okay, for now, it's I and my wife.
Oh wow. Wow.
So there are some events or some training sessions I go with her for assistance and all that. Sometimes I even make her sit in the training to pick up a thing or two or assist some of the people who are what's the name having difficulties during the training. But actually, if you're having a company or you're having a farm, you don't go out and say I because the farm will not be how it is. You
Yes.
speak how you want the farm to be. The
Okay.
farm will grow from an I to a we.
We. Yes.
So you start with a we.
Okay.
So that's it.
So how do we pick a form in case we want to enroll in your training?
Oh, you just call us.
Okay.
If you go on, you just type Clean Farms on Google. Our contact is there. We have I think about 3 contacts. You can just call anyone, or you can even WhatsApp us and just tell us that, oh, you've seen our this, you want to train. You just call us. So let's say maybe you are at Stakrade and you cannot come for the form. So that means you are coming for the training. So that means if you come for the training, the form is available. So the form actually for all the trainings is 25 cities.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
25 cities.
Okay.
So let's say if you are at Takrade or you are at Navron, we want to come for training. You don't have to say come and take form and go back again. So during the training, when you are coming, then you do what? You pay your your fees. Let's say if the training is 100 cedis, just an example. If the training is 100 cedis, that means you are paying 125 cedis.
Oh,
So
okay.
you just come, we give you the 20, you pay the 25 cedis, we give you the form, as well as your 100 cedis. So you will fill the form. So if it's a 2-day training, you do the training today and maybe the next day. I mean the next day you come for the
Yeah.
training again. So when you come, you bring the form, or you can choose to fill the form there. So basically that's all.
Okay,
We don't
thank you
give
very
electronic.
much. Okay, I want you to advise.
Okay. Uh, anyone looking to venture into rabbit farming should first of all consider or ask themselves uh, why they are going into it. If you are going into it to just chop, if I say chop, I mean maybe you are just growing them to maybe meet your what's the name, your protein requirements in the house. Fine, no problem. You can just start small. Always start small. It doesn't matter how rich you are. Always start small. So if you are starting, let's say maybe you're a big farm or you're what's the name, a big organization you are starting. At most, you can start with, let's say, 5 females and 2 males. It's okay. That's at most. But if you have any training and you actually know what you are doing, kindly don't exceed 10 females. Let it let your increment be in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. Start small and build up. So that if you start wasn't it small, you are hit small. But if you start big and you are crushed big. So please, every farmer out there, there is money, there are opportunities in rabbits. It all depends on what you want to do. Do you want to train? It's there. Do you want to grill? It's there. Do you want to be an off taker? An off taker is someone who goes around, buys rabbits, dresses them and sells because he doesn't want to produce his own rabbit. So the opportunities in rabbit production is very big. But kindly seek an expert's opinion before going into it. It's not just any business. If you invest into the animals, don't just invest your money, invest your commitment, invest your love. So I think more or less this is all every farmer needs to hear. And about those farmers who are claiming there's no market, without any effort, there's no results. What are you doing about there's no market? Are you advertising? Are you are you paying people to push the product for you? Are you investing into the advert? If you are not doing that, then forget it. There is join WhatsApp groups, join Facebook platforms, learn the format of how to advertise. If you are selling 3 rabbits, you see someone selling 3 rabbits, you will come and say 3 rabbits for sale or healthy rabbits for sale. Who sells unhealthy rabbits? Everybody sells healthy rabbits. So please frame your adverts in such a way that they are calling. Because if they are not buying, it is your fault. Because someone can buy my rabbit based on what I say. So please, the market is there. We always say the market is there. They say we are lying. The market is there for those who can see. So see beyond the market is not there. The market there is there. What are you doing? Are you only producing? Are you only formulating your feed? What are you doing? Because if I'm doing 10 things, my market is bigger than you doing only one thing. So increase the number of things you are doing. Invest in your farm through yourself. So thank you.
Thank you too. I think one thing I've learned from this interview is not to limit ourselves, because if you had limited yourself, I don't think you'd have gotten
At
this
all,
far.
at all, at all.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Ellie.
Thank you too.
My guest for today was Mr. Ellie Plin. He is the owner of Plin Farms located in Domi Plateau. My name is Oba Pasika. Don't forget to grab a form too if you want to learn more about rabbit farming. Keep liking, sharing, and leave your comments there as usual. See you next time. Bye.